Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. The last two videos we've done have all focused around this, our 2018 Ford Focus RS. Not a whole bunch of these from the 2018 year model over here in the US. This is kind of a fun project for us. A lot of the parts we've acquired have come from overseas. We've had parts shipped in from Australia. We took a trip to Europe to buy parts. We found some parts locally. So it's a bit of a mix. Really exciting. You know, this is a Ford product. We bought it here in the United States, but this car was actually built in Germany. The engine was built in the United Kingdom. And as we saw in our exhaust video, it's got components from Spain and who knows where else. So today, we're going to be working on good old engine here. What are we going to be doing today? Well, carrying on from the parts we've been doing with Mountune, we have their cast manifold. Now, this is a great part. A lot of people wait to do this mainly based on the cost, right? In the US, this is about a $1,600 part. UK, you're looking at about 800 pounds, so roughly $1,200. Found this one brand new in the box from a guy that decided not to go down this route. Picked it up from him while I was traveling in Europe. Great deal. Pretty excited about putting it on. Also, since we are going to be putting this piece on, it's a pretty cool looking part for the engine. We decided, hey, why are we going to keep that giant piece of plastic on the top of it? So we've got a much smaller one, looks a lot better, going to be great. What's cool about these Mountune intakes is they do furnish you with all new Ford gaskets. Some of the others will send you some that are knockoffs, but all of these, if you look at them, Ford originals, Ford genuine parts. So to install this, we're going to need a few tools. And just to make it easy for you guys that are probably going to be trying to do this in your garage, here's a couple that we'll be using. We use a T30 Torx bit, a 7, 8, 10, 12, and 13 millimeter socket, trim panel tool to knock off the lower trim, 3, 5, and 6 Allen keys, a ratchet, and a couple of extensions. Now we've included using the small impact here just because we think it's going to make it a little bit easier. Let's see if that's the case. All right, you can stop. There we go. All right, guys. Here we are underneath the car. Super exciting. The reason I wanted to show you guys this, on a lot of the different cars, this is going to be a plastic pipe. On this one, we've actually gone ahead, before we were filming a bunch of stuff, and replaced it with the Mountune version. You can see the Mountune couplers, the hard line, and then this is the hot side and cold side. This is the hot side coming off the turbo into the intercooler, through the Mountune intercooler. Spot the logo. Cold side, and this is what we're messing with now, is this cold side going up to our intake. So as you can see, pretty much all of our engine add-on and accessories are all going to be Mountune by the time we get done with this install. So as you can see, we've taken out the 8 T30 screws. You can see them here. There's 8 of those bad boys in the tray. Say hi, Turtle. Got Turtle helping us out today because he is an ASE certified master technician. I've seen the diploma. It was available on YouTube for a while. I purchased one myself on eBay. Good value, honestly. But that's it from underneath. So now that we've gotten this piece off, I'm going to refer to my instructions on see what I have to do next. Alright guys, finished taking all the bolts out. Little bit of a nightmare. We survived. Minor cuts and scrapes. But the hardest part is really trying to get down into the bottom here and disconnect the throttle body. We did it off camera because it really was a two-person job. So if you've got someone helping you, it really does help out. So we're just gonna, all right, got everything loose now. Cleared everything.
Look at that monstrosity.
Look at that. All right, let's bring that bad boy over here, start swapping things over. All right, we've got a bit of a problem here, Turtle. Oh, there it is. All right, kind of nice having a work floor that's not concrete. Really does make it nice to take some of these parts off and not be killing your knees. So what we're doing, popping the MAF sensor out, okay? Relatively straightforward. It's got a little O-ring. Oh, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna be working to slap that bad boy right in. And you can see it only fits one way. All right, makes it a whole lot easier. Then, do I put it on this one? Do I put it on this one? Guess what, it only fits on one. All right, got the MAF sensor in. What are we looking at next is gonna be 7 mil, 8 mil, these are not super tight. It's worth noting this is plastic, so they're not going to be super duper tight going into the plastic. Otherwise it would just split the plastic. Kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. Again, what's pretty cool about this Mountune kit, again, they use all replacement stuff. Nothing's going to get reused, none of the gaskets, anything like that. It's all brand new stuff. And when you look at some of the costs of these Mountune pieces, like, man, they're a little bit more expensive than the competitors, but when you look at it, you go, wow, it actually comes with all replacement gaskets. You don't reuse anything. And not only does it come with a replacement gasket, it's actually a Ford factory part, right? So you're not going to have any problems if you ever do need to replace it, or, man, I used an aftermarket piece. I don't know where I got it from. It came in a kit. None of that. You don't have that problem with the Mountune stuff because it does use all factory pieces, which is kind of nice. I've said it before, but I really like the fact these are square. It makes it so easy to work them off with your hand. All right, couple of things to note here. I'm gonna go break out the caliper and get scientific. Anytime you're taking your throttle body off, it's really a good opportunity to give it a bit of a clean on these mounting surfaces, especially on a turbocharged application. Why is that, Turtle?
Oil.
It's absolutely right. This car's only done 9,000 miles, but look at how much blow through we're getting, right? You're using a supercharged application, turbocharged application, any of that. Anytime you mess with your throttle body, give it a bit of a clean. A little bit of brake cleaner goes a long way. Use the brake cleaner like you're paying for it, okay? A little goes a long way. All right, Turtle, check out this diameter for me. So what we're gonna do, this is a circle. This is gonna be fun to measure. All right, Turtle, you wanna see this difference here? Look at that. Look at the difference between the two. This is going to be our mounting plates, mounting surface right here. All right. Look at all the difference between the diameter of our throttle body and the diameter of our intake manifold. Crazy, right? Why do you think that is, Turtle?
More airflow, and somebody should have bought a better throttle body.
Exactly, which is what we're going to be doing in our next video. That's what Ford have done, right? The 2.0 and the 2.3 Focus RS uses the same size throttle body. It's a baby. So cute and snuggly. Aww. Why don't you take a nap with the throttle body next time?
I might.
Might be a good idea. Throttle body loves you back. It might go, hey Turtle, hi Turtle. Can we be friends? Open book.
That's not gonna work no more.
Why are you gonna talk shit? We gotta edit that out. Please don't demonetize me again. YouTube, I need the money. It's really hard in these streets. Alright, so what we're gonna do in a future video is we're gonna take this bad boy back apart. We're gonna add a 63mm throttle body. Okay, that's a Ford part. This is a smaller throttle body that Ford supplies on these cars, OEM spec. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure this while we've got it apart. That's why I didn't want to order a new throttle body, because I wanted to make sure we had measured all the pieces and we knew exactly what size throttle body to get. That way, we'll be able to get it all port matched, and we won't have to try and port match it ourselves because we're not that talented. All right. For those of you at home, just under 70mm, call it 68mm. $65mm. Take a few readings. 65mm. So what we can do is we'll go from a 56, 57mm throttle body to a 65mm throttle body. And Ford actually makes a 65mm throttle body. What do you think they put those on?
Mustang.
Exactly. That's exactly what they put it on, the Mustang. So, pretty simple. Not too complicated. Again, Ford part. Okay, this has got these little ridges, right? What I've found when they have these, they really help you seat the gasket. Go all the way around, right? And it doesn't really get tight until you get to these last couple, right? It is a Ford gasket, so of course it fits perfectly. Great machining from Ford, appreciate it. Turtle, did you know that there's a front and a back to washers?
Mm-hmm.
Something kind of cool, maybe not everybody's seen. One of these is a front, one of these is a back. All right, this side is a lot flatter. So what's that going to do is that's going to mount to our mating surface here. Learned that a couple of days ago. which is marginally embarrassing. You'd think I'd have known that, but surprisingly I didn't. I've read some guys using a little bit of Loctite on these. If you look at the Ford bolts, Ford didn't use any Loctite. So, if it worked for Ford, I think it should work just fine for us without Loctite. Mountune says specifically not to use Loctite. So, a lot of you are probably going, I'd have put a little on there. Well, guess what? The instructions say specifically not to. Probably because some guys have used the wrong Loctite and then couldn't get the bolts out. That would be my guess. All right. Basically, we've got our assembly nice and neat. Took all of the stuff off the plastic that we're not going to need anymore. Yay! Okay, I now need to reference my cheat sheet, aka instruction manual. So, I think to make this as easy as we possibly can, let's try and figure out the best way to do this. All right, guys. Turtle, do I look like I know what I'm doing?
You want the truth or a lie?
Make me feel good about myself.
Like you've been doing this for a while.
Almost believed you. Not like all the way, but like partially believed you. Like I felt good enough to go, man, that was really nice of my buddy Turtle to say. And then I was like, nah, he'd never say that.
You gonna stare that son bitch on?
Yeah. Figure if I look at it for long enough, it'll just get scared.
Just jump right on there.
Just be like, sorry. All right. Got the throttle body connection done. Got the PCV on the back done. 2 left to do, and then push it onto the hose. And really that's what I'm contemplating, is how am I best getting this bottom hose put back on. Turtle, what do you suggest?
Well, we already have the skid plate off, so we can probably just put it on from below.
All right. Turtle, how about I push it up from below, and you try to push down from the top?
We can do that.
That sounds like a great idea, guys. Look at us, multitasking. All right, guys. Got it on there. Now, if memory serves, was that an 8mm, Turtle?
Yes. All
right. Turtle, you want to shoot down there for me real quick? I want to show our friends at home a little something. What you may have seen is change the orientation of this one. It's pretty easy to get to now, right? That made a whole big difference. All right, guys, finished up, got the Mountune intake done. Everything's all nice and tight. And we're not gonna run the Ford Performance plastic panel anymore. but some of you guys might. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna slap it on there, let you guys take a look, see what you think. And you can probably tell, man, I know exactly why you guys are not running it anymore, because you can't see any of that new shiny intake manifold that we just installed, right? But it is pretty cool the way Mountune cut these pieces out so that you can still use it. And the same with the cast inlet manifold. It does come with the studs so that you can use it if you want to. We're just not, because, man, it's gonna look so much better with all that air. Gonna be able to breathe a little bit. This is a turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive. Ford's crammed a lot of technology in here, right, Turtle? So
They have.
let's try to give it some room to breathe. So we've got our own trim panel here. Gonna be a lot cleaner, man. Just look better, and it's gonna sit right neat and tidy on here, right? Pretty cool, right? What do you think, guys? That's essentially what we're gonna be looking at, right? Makes a pretty big difference. All right, guys, we're back. Man, as you can tell, engine bay looking night and day difference from earlier, right? All full Mountune intake. You can really see it going all the way down into the turbo now. Look at that, man. We got the new color matched cover put on. Man, I tell you what, I'm thinking we get the buffer out and really make this shine up. What do you think, Turtle? Yeah, that's gonna look great. Cast inlet manifold on there. All of the pieces of the puzzle are done. Man, it looks so much better without that giant hunk of plastic on the top, right? Really pleased with this. Pretty much every bolt-on on this engine is now Mountune. Really pleased with the products they've sent us, how they were able to help us out. Super appreciate that, guys. Some of the parts we sourced ourselves, some of the parts they were able to help us out with. Looks great. So what do we have left to do under this hood, Turtle?
Start it up.
Let's do that, man. Let me grab the keys. All right, Turtle, let's get this thing started up, see how it sounds. Little four-cylinder, it sure does have an attitude problem. I tell you what, guys, this has been a real fun project so far, but we're nowhere near done yet. Under the hood, we've still got the fluid reservoir to install. We've got a new short shift kit to install, and as you can see in this video, we've got a new throttle body we're gonna have to put on, right? Pretty exciting stuff. And man, this hood prop's been getting in the way all day. I think probably for one of our next videos, we probably need to go ahead and swap that out. That's just getting annoying. So, hey, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, send us a comment. Let us know what we did wrong, what we did right, what you like about our videos. And until then, keep wrenching.